But once you get your oil changed in the old buggy, you think, man, I got this thing whooped. About done all I need to do to it. Think again, sir. Think again. There's always something need checked or fluids added or whatever you might want to call it. There's always something to do to it, maintenance-wise. Today I'm just going to run over it with a grease gun, and I'll try to point out where all them grease zerks are, so that when you need to grease yours, you can make quick work of it. So I'm going to start out here from the rear end, and I'll just, I guess I'll start on the passenger side, and it'll be the same on the driver's side. But on the right-hand side, I'm going to see if I can ease up here closer, get up under it and start pointing them out to you. Let's see. So you got, I think there's 5 on this side. You got one here, one in there. I ain't got enough light to point out where it's at, but believe me, there's one in there. And then down here on the bottom of this frame, that pivot point, there's one there. So one at this bolt, one at that bolt, and then one here on the very rear. Same on the left side. Now I've moved around in front of this tire, and I put this thing up on the jack, not because you really need to access this stuff, but just gives me a better view with the camera. There's a couple of arms that, you know, come off this axle, that gives that axle some pivot, you know, to absorb the shock. At the end of it, you got one there, and the lower, you've got one here. So if you back off and you look at this thing from looking at it from the rear, easy to find. At that bottom bolt, next bolt, between them 2 bolts, and then you see a gold bolt there, or gold colored bolt there, and then one low, 2 of them there. Both of those have grease points. So there's 5 grease points here at the rear end of this thing. Now, some things that make this thing easier, you know, I said it wasn't mandatory to get it up on the jack, and it certainly is not. You can get into it without it, but it does kind of expose those 2, I don't know, back here a lot easier. It kind of rolls them down where you can get to them easier. So if you got a jack and you don't mind breaking it out, if it's easy to get out, it might make it just a little easier. Something that will make it definitely a lot easier, though, is old quick connect fitting there. And a flexible hose is a must. If you've got one that's got one of those rigid hoses on it, you're gonna be in for a long, hard afternoon doing this. And you know, I don't have a pistol grip gun, but that would probably help some too. But all in all, this ain't the hardest job I've ever done. In fact, it ain't hard at all. To show you how easy this really is, once you got that quick connect deal, I'm holding this camera with one hand, and I'm pumping grease with the other one. And then you see it coming out down there. Nothing to it, sir, nothing to it at all. On your front suspension, you've got 4. Here on this bolt in the center here, that bolt is greased there. Then to the rear, if we can see it, that bolt right, where's my finger at? Right there, got a insert on it. And lower, right there, I covered it up with my finger, greasing that bolt. Right and left, like I tell you. 5 on the back, 4 on the front on each side, so it gives you a total of 18 places on that suspension to grease it. Can-Am recommends the use of an XPS synthetic suspension lube. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it cost, but I don't think it's going to tear up anything if you put some lithium in it or whatever you might have. Old buddy of mine used to say, wrong grease is better than no grease, and I live by them words, and it ain't never really let me down before. But I hope you gained something from this little bit of film here. If you did, look around. I've got some more stuff that I'm gonna be doing with this. Did an oil change, and like I say, they got a before you ride tutorial on all the things to look at, and I'll probably try to put something together on it pretty soon. Y'all have a good one.